What's going on, everybody? Just here getting things dialed in, and I've been wanting to do this video for a minute, but been having a lot of technical issues, but you know how that goes. All right, so I am trying to set up the Open OSS 20B, and I think I might have it set up. And I don't know if you guys are getting a screen, but let's see. All right, there we are. Holy cow. So, this is where we're at. I'm staring at the screen and I'm thinking, oh, I don't see anything. And I want to make sure that the command prompt is showing. And when I was looking, I didn't see anything. All right, so what we got right here is I'm trying to get the agent portion to work. And if I looked at it correctly, OpenAI basically gave us all of the tools because this open model has it. And it just says, here is kind of how it works, little outline, skeleton, and then you figure out the rest because, you know, they're not here to tell us how to do it. They just know that it does work. So right now, I am doing some bash with my assistant here, and I'm trying to get my local to work. So I'm asking to build like my own CLI. Anybody who's ever tried working with, you know, ChatGPT, who's like me, a little diehard, I kind of jumped out and tried other things. And, you know, there is a learning curve and there is a wall. So just trying to get all of this together. And I think there is a miss here because I think I needed to just do that and get back out of the folder, which is doing. And the way I'm doing it, I'm showing my work because when you're trying to put something together and you don't really know, you kind of have to have your guide and your teacher. And the way this is working, let me minimize this, is we're going to get a custom CLI. Let me close some stuff because I'm over here watching. Don't want to have a copyright strike. And right now, let me see here. We got the syntax, showing slightly shift, building longer, okay. And if you want to exploit name output folder for better organization, so we want to, all right, hold on. Before I even do that, what is it asking me to run command syntax slight shift in a recent build? No longer accepted. Instead, you can attach file onto the input and go from there. I think, let me see here, build project defined by the, all right, I think this is kind of where we're going to do the build. So it's kind of opening up within the, yeah. So right here, this is just straight without opening up the CLI, basic command line. And we're just trying to, when I put my OSS in there, it's got to have direction. It's got to have an orchestra. and they didn't really give it to us. I think this is going to do two things. Let me back this up. Anyway, let me see what happens. Yeah, so we got an error there. So I'm putting too much at once, but that was the file. It wasn't found. So I come here. Yeah, I did it twice because I think I put too much at once because it's showing an error. Let's see. Unconfirmed. Can't find a provided name because I think I put it all at once. So we're going to do the bash. So now, all right, who do we have here? Yep, it's all there with tools. And then this one is going to run. Am I supposed to change that? Choose one on the list, for example. If you see, no. If you see Gronk 40 mini, I do not. This is what I see. I'm going to show that. Right? Because look, it's giving that error. And I think we're... No. Where am I? Where did I do? Right here. I don't want to go too far. Alright, your best option here. Yeah, because we designed that one. So what I'm going to try... Let's see if that works without an error. Yeah, it errored. Someone was telling me that they couldn't get it to work. And I'm, looking at, oh, well, it needs this, needs that. Let me see here. The error means OpenCode sees the provider, but you know what? This is something I'm going to say. When I was in the llama serve, we had no LMs showing. But when we turned it off, we saw. So I looked and noticed that the something made a blob and model file folder, and it made me think it is pointed in two locations because we moved the folder from one main C drive to the F drive. So when we reg the folder in Windows, we might have missed, or we are off a level in the link, if that makes sense. Because in my brain, I was looking around and we moved something, and then we were trying to run a server, and then I said run OpenAI the 20B, and it would start downloading. And I'm over here thinking, why is this downloading? Shouldn't be downloading. And when I had it here, we moved the Olama, see right here. It created another blobs and manifest. Oh, manifest. I said it wrong. And this one was the one we were using because here's the blob and another manifest. So you see how it's just jumping up even higher? You got the F drive, then you got the Olama models, then you got the .olm. It's normally in your .config in your C drive, but I was running out of space and I said, how hard is it to move it over? I was 1000% ready to uninstall everything and move it. And ChatGPT is like, no, we're coders, man. We can do this. So I did it successfully, and it worked. We hit one bump. I think I set it in the wrong area, but at the end of the day, it did work, and you can run it. So what does he say here? Verify element thinks it's in a different directory. Yeah, see? It does know right here where it says, you know, where I am. If it returns nothing or nothing shows, see, that's what I'm showing. I'm going to show them the screenshot so it knows. So what I do here is I make a screenshot and I bring it over and I show this might be the missing link. Why we show 2. Why would we have 2 blobs and right manifest? Because I can't move past here. Affirmative your reductions size the screenshot confirms Olama is mean. 2. Yep. Step by step fix. Yeah, I remember this. So ensure you want no. I think we need the main folder to be this one. The Olama. See, we got the models and our own manifest. And I'm going to do that one. Alright, I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to jump into this one. No. Back up here. Screenshot this one. And give those 2 files. This is the troubleshooting world. All right, so that will be. Did I give it? Oh, yeah, I already gave one. So we're going to send that up. And so my routine is, if I don't know and I'm going to have, ChatGPT walk me through it, I'll have a command line and I'll have ChatGPT, whether it be this one or local. And once I have, my outline, I read it, I work it. If it looks like it's, weird, I copy paste text, throw it in. And it's pretty good at just keeping where you are to finishing whatever task you're trying to do. So right now, we're going to try to set that one. So I'm going to hit this one. Hold on. Immediate fix. Run the one line. I open here, administrator, PowerShell. That's successful. All right, that point allow me directly to then restart the service. So we're gonna go here. It's gonna try to do. Well, I don't need all of them. Let's just do one. So we're gonna kill, and that's done. And then we're just gonna do Olama. If I Olama, we're gonna do serve, because when I serve it, I want to see if there's anything in there. So now I'm going to come into my terminal and I'm going to do Olama, the normal list. See, it doesn't show. So I don't know what we're doing wrong. So right now, I'm going to turn this off by closing it. And since that's closed, I'm going to do it again. And there's all my stuff. So that's what I've been, dealing with. I was trying to do this cool networking thing, and you watch people on the internet and they're gatekeeping, or they don't know how to explain it, or there's something in the mix that that's a common area that they found, but they're trying to explain it easily for you and you miss it. The point is, I moved it. I don't know where anyone used that on the internet, where you can move a whole working, and it's working. Everything that I'm using connects to it. As you can see in terminal, it's connected. Right now, this is the Olama, and you can see it all here. It's all working. You go to settings. It's connected to the folder, because that's where I want them to be. It makes sense to me, right? What else? Oh, I have Misty, and that's working in Misty, because if you can't load it, let's see, it all loads right here. I started downloading more. I got Granite, which is interesting. I had it make a snake game, and before I open it, the cool part about this game was, it's generic. If you ask, make me a snake game, it'll make you the snake game in generic. And then, you want it to look better, so you don't know how to put graphics, but dude, Nintendo makes sprites. As soon as I said that one word, I said, because it made me an apple that looked like a heart, but it was like super big. And then every time I kept making it smaller, the squares were like super zoomed in, pixelated. And I said, don't make it that big. Use real pixels. Use it like a sprite. And it made a really good apple and a snake. So, oh no, that's the one that didn't work. This is the one that worked. Come on, don't make me look like a liar. What's happening here? I hope I didn't lose it. It looked really good. It was, I had it add a background. I can find it again. It's in one of my folders. But I was trying to get this little section on the left right here, because, It's really cool that it can make you some stuff. I was trying to do, the Flappy Bird using, if I remember correctly, a really small model. It didn't work, you know. It just gave you the start. But I was trying to do a Star Fox style, which was pretty cool. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to make a website. So I sat down and I made this right from local. I said, here's a surf shop. It it designed it. We have a couple broken images, but it didn't use the internet. It used links from wiki or whatever, and it'll pull these pictures for free. And this particular one, I wanted to go old school. I said, how can I make a website where it's one file, as you can see right here. It's one file, right? Not this one, but the top one. And you can change right here, pages. I used to make these all the time. And I wanted it to, make something. It's not the greatest because I didn't really give it too much, design creativity, but from what it created, it was pretty good. And then we went a different direction and we made this one. This is one of those one pagers, and it pulled everything from the internet, and it did a pretty good job. Okay, the bottom area right here, we figure what that is. It's got the up arrow, jump to, and it has the easing. The light dark mode doesn't work, but look, the Spanish totally translate the entire page to English and Spanish. One prompt, but it was a very creative, long, like I prepped it. I said, create me a prompt in this format, and you're going to be making a website, or you're going to tell someone to make a website, and you want all these features. And I also told it to create a story, about a surfer and a coder, and he started a coffee shop, and this was the result. I've been playing around with codecs, trying to figure out what that really is about, and everything here is basically 100% automated using Misty. I use this as an assistant. On here, you can go into fine tuning. I pick the model I want. I click the fine tuning. This is, if you want to screenshot that, this is how I have it tuned. Temperature, TP, top, TK, number. This is how much you want it to, stay within. There's the token context window. So it's about, an 8K context window. Do you want thinking? False, you know? And the only reason why I was doing that is because it was doing too much. And I had it to kind of slow it down. It's good. It's really good. But you want it to be connected to the internet to give you a little bit more of that, flair. And I also got with Vercel. This one's just a hobby project. Everything you see right here is 100% generated locally. This is just me tackling each section at a time. Dashboard. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? You got Google, Facebook. I'm clicking buttons. You got the home. You got a directory. You can explore some of the images. I'm still working on getting it together, right? This is the story. The forum's not ready. Originally, I had an old version where you could see it, but it was just a placeholder to give you an idea. And the only reason why I'm going to put it back to the placeholder because I'm hosting, it's from GitHub, if you can believe that. All these files are being pulled from GitHub. So you need more dynamic, real-time data for forums and blogging. Well, blogging you could probably see, yeah. What's the other one that I tried that didn't work? You got your sign in. Oh, the analytics. It wasn't working before. This one was going to be dynamic, which would be for the site. And you got your events, which is your event calendar. Your waiting list I put so that if new things are happening, and if you look at the left, everything here has, when I put something new, it gives a red dot. And that dot basically says, hey, you haven't checked this area yet. Here in the courses, you have an opportunity. I think one of these errors out. You know what? It doesn't even. But it is cool. Here's sample messages. This was supposed to be the sample forum, but check that out. That's what they did. They moved it. Oh, I'm confused right now because this wasn't working before. I think. Oh, I know why it's not. This because I was over here. See, I'm still learning this. This was the updated one. This was the one that you can see now. And I didn't update it because of the error. Because when I come here and I click forum, that's the error. So I got to refresh the whole section. And I think the analytics. Oh. Oh, is it the school? It's the school area. Ah, did you see the little red dot? Here's a blue one right here. Wow, it just got rid of all the other dots. I wanted you guys to see that. But you could see that everything here is just me having a conversation, right? It's giving me codes. I like, I haven't settled yet because I kind of jump around from Misty Studio and I go online, which I'm paying for. My goal was to invest the plus, and once I felt comfortable, I can jump out of that and, you know, do more local stuff and not have to pay. So I've done the local, which is this one. I'll set it up right now. I'm going to do a new one. And this one, if I remember correctly, oh no, this is the one that is my assistant. I had to take out, when you go into Misty, you have an opportunity to create, on the left-hand side, these folders. And right now, this is a work group. As you can see, you got your default one, and then you come down to the new chat, you click on it, and it just gives you all this right here. You're going to create a new project at the root, Over here, you can create a new workplace. So the way I'm trying to organize this workflow, or if you have one that's better, put it in the comments. But you create the main meat and potatoes, which is your workspace, whatever, project. For example, I have 3, which is the original default. I was kind of learning it. Then I made this one, which was my AI models testing ground, right? And then we're here with the 51 agents. So what I'm doing is this particular one here says design visuals, okay? And then you got another one here, UI design department, and then you got design branding, right? So these are like departments. So inside the department, you click the three dots, you go to edit, and now you've got right here. I'm not gatekeeping. I got this on the internet, and then I modified it. But basically, it's like when you get a job and they say, hey, you're going to go work. This is what you got to do. You follow these rules, right? So these rules will be designed. Look at all these steps, right? Look at all of this cheddar for you. And this will be right there. And underneath this box, you got the system prompt attach mode. I put replace. So what that does is it slams all of this into the prompt window. I don't put any other files because I don't want to put too much. I pick my, ChatGPT. I use the weights. All right, I'm gonna close this out. You can pick your icon. All right, change the color. And then when you ask your question, I'll pick this one. It gives you a comprehensive, and this is local. I am too tired for this to be rewinding. So I asked what I needed, and it just dropped. This came from, a different one. It came from the designer brand, so you can see how well that came up, right? This is the branding. It gave sample structure, right? And I wanted something that could build websites, not, half-ass it. And it came through, it thought, and then it put this branding together, right? And then I throw in from other areas, and it's like this is me, so right here. And this is the reply. Because I'm using the different departments, on the left, and what it's doing is that's my team. I'm not using the NAN because I'm learning. So I'm using the process of, okay, if this was my business and this is my team, what do I have them do? So I have to write scripts on what they do. Like one is a storyteller, one is, UI design. And look at it. Look at how, professional it is. It's not perfect yet. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed, and one of them is the response, as you can see right here, right on the left. I'm just gonna pop that out. But I wanted to take this time to show you. It's gonna have a built-in AI assistant. It's English and Spanish. Look at that toggle. You got the light and dark. And then here you can click on your profile and it'll go to your area. There's a complete back end, which isn't even started yet, but I will have it done. I won't be able to use this platform to do it. And that's because, when you're dealing with users and a lot of data transfer and changing, that's, you need something to happen. And using the GitHub, it's a good start. It's, you can see everything. It's kind of like your tracker. It shows you all the files you're working on, what you change. You make a mistake, there's a blame. You can see what I changed, and you can see all the things you did, and you can blame yourself because if you're the only one working there and things are broken, it's your fault. So that's it. You got new layout. Everything has pictures, right? It's super clean. I know if people are looking at on a phone, this is, probably super small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, 100%. That's basically it. This is what the site looks like. And what I'm doing too, since I'm using, GPT, this is my backup. You got the backup to make sure everything's okay. This is the first time I'm using Codex. I don't like using it because it yells at me telling me I can't use it until November 8th, which is in 3 days, because it did like 10,000 lines. So I'm thinking of upgrading. That's what it is. They tease you, they give you that flavor, and you're like, oh my god, I need more. So that's why I'm here in the where was I left off? Okay, I did turn that off, and okay, this didn't work. So we were here, not here. Where were we? Before all this stuff. Okay, so that's it. I just go back and see where I'm at. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up the my GPT OSS 20B. The goal is I come over here, I click command, right click, run an admin, and what I do now is I go and hit F because I'm going to the F drive. I hit CD to change, and the max is my folder, and I type open code. So here, when I finish, I should be able to go to models, pick my model, and hit tab, changes it, and I should be able to that went to a default there when changing. So that's weird. I just changed it, and you can see the change for build and plan. So I'm going to go back and try to put that to GPT. And we're going to open up the task manager because that's revving up the local chat GPT. And oh, because it's not tools. Where is that file? It should be. Is it it's config, right? OpenCode, and it's this one here. If it's not this one, no. It's the agent, because I have to change it from tools. It's not package, it's not this one, it's not that one. Well, that's interesting because there's supposed to be a file for me to edit in the config area for open. I don't see it because the Llama folder that's here, see, it's making these right here too, and it's not supposed to. Download something? No. Any manifest? No. See, it could be pointing over here too. So there's a lot of discrepancy in me moving that over. But that config file, I'm a little concerned because it was supposed to be in here. And for me to change, because you're seeing right here on this page where the AI API call error, it's not tools, dash tools. It's just regular without the dash. So I think that's why it changed, because it's like, hey, there's no tools here. So, oh, maybe it's this one, the backup. Let me see here. Why is this not opening here? Open with. You know what? Tell me what I can and cannot use to pick my. See? Look at that. That's closing my shit. You think you got a virus, huh? Bro. I had such a bad experience with just computers and hackers and bullshit. So this is the file. This is the the direction. This is the tools. Right? That's the name. This is the plan. That was the build. Because you can use an agent. It's primary right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as the JSON. Normally supposed to have one here, because I just made a copy of it, and maybe I did move it. So I'm going to copy this, and I think I did move it. Let me go to, I think it said you got to bring it into your that folder you're working on, because if it's here, yeah, see, it's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to override it with a paste. But you know what? Before I do that, I'll open it up so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the thing: when you're doing this stuff, you gotta have a good memory. And be like, oh, why is that shit broken? Because you change stuff. So this is the tools. I had one of these, and I thought, oh, I needed to enable it. No, I didn't know what I was doing because they don't explain it. Anyone who's in the field has an idea, and basically what they're saying is that OpenAI gave you instructions on how to call the tools, but they're not going to tell you how to put it together. It's not going to tell you that you can write files in a certain structure where you got the main, everything that they gave you, the Python calls, and then once you make the first one and say, hey, follow this, and then everything after that, it just makes sense because it's, running out the same way this looks right here is how it spits out the information every time it has a tool call. But what you need to do is you need to configure it so that it uh, functions and it knows what tool to pull. So you have to tell it. And this part just says, okay, you could do this stuff. But the next part, it's like, okay, well, go to this folder, read this manifest, and that manifest is going to be in a markdown. And the markdown just says, oh, when you see this, do this. When you see this, do that. When you go here, do this. Go pull this. Go. It's in a structure that the local AI will go, oh, okay, I'll just, this is what I got to do. This is how I find it. Because it's like a job. You want to set up an agent and you want it to be successful. So you got to do so much crap. All right. So this is what it looks like. This is the error right there, the name, as I don't know if I still have it up. No, I closed it. But you can see the name. I also put the other one here, which works. But the tool part, if I just do that and move it and save it, I have to do it on every single one. This is not it. This is the plan area. Here's the tools. Because this file does not exist. I can leave it as a label, but when it's looking for the model, it's going to say, hey, you sure you have this file? Should I pull it? And you don't want it pulling, because then it just downloads something that doesn't exist, because it's going to look for it. All right, so this is the Olamas that gives you that local host. And that's it. You click that, you click save. You go into, again, your system. All right, I'm in the file. You hit open code. And this one's running on a command line because I don't want to do this one. Let me get out of here. Let's do it again. All right, so you're going to hit Ola. Oops, I'm not Olama. Oh, no, I got to move first. So you go F, CD max, and then open code. And what I do, I break it? Yeah. So, line 33, write true. It's asking me. I didn't make an error, did I? So when I get these little problems, I just go here, I go here, and I say, I broke it. Open code. I changed the name. Still had tool in it for OSS GPT 20B. So at least this one will be like, oh, just go here, change this, move this. I think I always asked it to give me the whole thing. Here's the correct, ready to replay. Yeah, because it knows. It's like, did it again? So that's still doing stuff. What do I have? I think it's only put into one. And this was definitely going to have some information. Let me see here. Select all and delete, copy. I don't know if I want to do all that, but we're having fun, right? That's my questions that I was using to build stuff. The Flappy Bird, Retro Snake, responsive website, the Surf Shop. And this one is the 50 states. And, oh no, right up here. The capital and states. All right, so I'm going to go to, not that one again. And this one is open code. We're going to edit. We're going to add all. Paste. Control S for save. This should fix the error. So I did see this correctly. I was like wondering, why is this not working? All right, so we're going to do open code. And it's still not working. What is going on here? Nope, that's exactly what we put in here because this was new right here. All right. Let me see where that left off so I can. This is a lot. Where is it? I can't see where it starts. There it is. So I got to give this whole. Dude, what the hell's up with this fucking. Bro, you just want to get this done. So I see this one. I don't want to do two errors and give the wrong one. Okay, so that's the first error. Talk about you gotta have patience with this. Why do the computers are after us? Because no patience. Hopefully this one gives me the whole thing here, because, man, talk about I'm still at this spot. All right, so copy everything. That's what I did the first time. And it's just, it talks to you like, oh yeah, just do this and you're fine. I'm like, yeah, right. Every time I keep telling people, I said, dude, you're messing with AI. Good luck. You know, if you have the terminology and you can follow steps and you can work it, yeah, you can do all that fun shit. And for me, it's a process. And I'm not going to use that anymore. I'm going to come over here. And that's F, the same one. I apologize for the TV in the background because we're in Puerto Rico. And I hit the wrong button. So let me take a look at this. See, this prompting is different. I never really seen this with all. I've seen this, but you know, this is the that orchestra scaffolding, and it starts to point to things. So now we go back to here and pray this time. Yeah, no, dude, what is up with this? Because I'll just delete it. And it should go to default. Alright, so it's reading it from somewhere else. Let me see if I had it back in the old west when I was back here doing work. So we had the config, open, here's the file. Let me see if that's in there too. No, it's different. I should have just went with this one. And I'm going to close that. I'm going to change. Crap. I should have just copy pasted. Alright, so we're going to just copy this one. Drop it in here, which is the main. Because that was supposed to be the backup. So I'm going to have to uninstall and figure this shit out, because I don't know what the hell I broke. I was running. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was running the scaffolding background for what OpenAI offers. They, like I was saying before, they give you a little bit, and then they basically allow you to invent what you're trying to do. So what I was trying to do was mimic the way Grok works. You know, you're watching it and you're like, oh, I think I can write that process what I'm seeing, and allow uh, ChatGPT, or what I thought was happening, Grok, creating just the uh, structure folders. And once the structure folders are done, I can bring over um, the ChatGPT as the model, and instead of using the paid API, it would work on this one. So I'm going to have to come back to that and set that up, because It is not here. I was in the middle of creating some kind of scaffolding. I don't think it was this one. No, this was just repeating what I needed. That is the one thing I don't like about when you're working in chat. You could lose your place, and you can't get mad with AI because AI will only, follow you as far as you can handle. And anyway, I'll figure it out. Worst comes to worst, I'll just uninstall and reinstall the open code. See, I did that. This is what I did. And then you had here, that was a file. Let me see, was this a step I can do? No, I don't want to do an or. Let's see if I can just run. So, manage credentials. Yep. Yep. List. Alias. Yep. Anyway, that's the basic stuff. That's there. It's still not going to work. No, it's still not going to work. If you see it, man, run it in the chat because this is just getting. See, it's still reading this and it's not. I'm wondering where it's reading that from. Because that was the original one I put in. Well, let me give the. Save that file. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to go to -1. Yeah. So we're going to go here. I'm going to say copy. Because they said if you removed it, it would go to default. And then within the default, it wouldn't have, as you can see here, the Olama. But it's still posting as if it was there after I deleted it. Is there another one here I don't see? No, it's just this one. And I fixed it. I only took out that one. Plan, build. And they said if I didn't want it, I would just delete the whole file. And then when I run, it's fine. But it's remembering like this whole part here. Because where's it reading it from? I wish it would give me the directory here, but you would assume it was the oh. Well, that's what I said. Go to C, user, and then you go into what did it say here? OpenCode OpenCode. So I'm going to go to configure, OpenCode, and this is the OpenCode. I made a backup of it because, you know, if I needed it. And now it's saying it's an invalid. So I'm going to just get rid of this one. Oh, not edit. Back number 2. And now it won't look. Well, hold on. You got that one. That's a link, right? And I don't see another one here. Nope. I don't see another one. There you go. Oh my goodness. So I thought I was fixing it and I made it worse. Dude, how long was that? That's like 20 minutes. Dude. I don't want to say hello because it's on, well, it's on Grok, so at least Grok will say what's up. And, okay, you see how that looks? That layout tells you the project snapshot, gives you all that information. This one's probably like, delete the file. And it will fix it. But I don't want that right now. So let me see. I want to see if it's still pulling my model from somewhere. Nope. So my model's gone. And I guarantee you 1,000% it's a comma or some, you know, curly brackets I forgot to put in that whole script. And if this one, I don't want to do it again where it crashes, but in theory, let me edit it. Well, bro, just edit back to the JSON, which would error this whole thing again, but it's not doing anything, so I'm going to see if I paste that, save. If it does, I'll just fucking close it again. So I'm going to close that, open that, and then I'm going to F, then change directory, and then open code. Nope, it's still. Alright, so invalid. So prompt build. Well, at least it's not a whole massive script. And this is local. This is fixing it faster or better. This is the last part. And it'll be like, oh, do this. I mean, it's like I'm not reading. I could have read it. But you look at it. It's looking for stuff. I feel like that's the error. You have to have everything set up by the time you have your prompts, because the system will run through and say, okay, let me check all these other folders. Because if you look here, it says the file prompt.build.txt. Is that within the file? And it says does not exist. So inline prompt text, no external file. Yeah. Because it would have been like, what are you trying to do? So you come back here again. This is this is dumb but necessary troubleshooting. And I'm going to minimize that. Come back here. Try it again. No, it's still. Where is that? Fucking stupid thing. So what I should do is just get rid of this. But I want it. It was working. and now it's like when a DJ's gonna mix and he's mixing and he's like, it's great, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna record this, and then he starts recording, and then you start hearing mistakes, and you're like, dang, I can't even give this away. But when you get my age, you're like, oh yeah, this is being real. Okay, so all right, I see. That's there. It's talking about the build. It says it's looking for prompt. But what prompt? Oh, this prompt. You are. So anything with the txt, I don't see anything that says txt behind the word build. That's plan. So here is the only area that has build, right? And it says prompt. So prompts build. So you got prompt. Maybe there was supposed to be something written here. And this one gave me something else. No, still refs the build. Is it build? Yeah, build. Build.text. Where is it seen? That. Well, at least it's still loaded. I found somewhere in the Misty that you can set it from unloading, and I've seen it where it unloaded within 2 minutes, and I set it to 10 minutes, but it said 5, and I'm like, you sure? It seemed like it unless I take so long to reply and it takes more than 5 minutes and it pushes it out. But you could see how fast this is coming out. This is all 100% local. And I click here on codec or CUDA so you can see. Look at that. So you got the 3D window, video codec right here. That is because I'm recording and streaming. And CPU is low. RAM is low. My processes are, because of my browser. I don't understand why it has all this crap, dude. Hackers, bro. My shit's fucked up. I'm on the internet. They allow me. I can't play Apex, man. I load up the game and it crashes. It doesn't crash. It just says authentication timeout. and I did everything. Everything you can imagine. And all right, what happened here? This is a lot of stuff happening here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do have multiple copies. So that's the one that's in the folder. It's not that one. It's it's this one. Oh, right here. Dude, bro. Oh my god. I am one of millions who are going to get in here and be like, "Oh my god, AI is going to take my job." Good luck. It's going to be a while because when people can do this easily, and for me, it's been a minute, and I just need to look at my reference over here. So top to top, see the prompt doesn't say anything because see the prompt is right here. And what I'll do is, of course, I should have just I could copy paste, but you don't learn that way. And I like the way that looks because that's an option, right? So we're going to come down here. This is a different one. It says you're the planner, right? And then we got, I got my eyes lost. All right, I think this one is here. Got to get the curly brackets because I said so. I don't know. I used to do regular CSS and HTML and SQL Server, backend, blah, blah, blah. And before automation, this was it. But we would make a bat file. And if you guys know what bat files is, this is it. You just take a text file and you just add BAT to the end of it, double click it, and whatever was in there, it would run it in terminal. So if it made sense, you could do some damage. So I'm going to close that. This is done, and it should open up and work because damn if it didn't. Dude, what now? Dude, I just changed it, and I have to, give me a second. All right, so let me see here. Sorry for that pause. All right, so this is the, not that one, it's this one. As you can see, it's the max folder. All right, is it a double max? No. It's the root max. This one says I didn't save it. That's what I did. I didn't save it. Did I save it? If I close them, they're saved, right? And this is not. Why is that open? I'm gonna open this. It's not in there. What's up with this? Should I close it? Who goes through all this hassle? Me. People like me. We're like, I just changed it. I changed it in front of you. You, whoever's on the chat, is witness, and this is possessed. OpenCode. Bro, this is still showing that stupid link? No, this is different. Okay, so different is good. Right now, it's just saying that the, all right, error. So I forgot to put something in there. So I'm just going to say, correct this, please. Is it still loaded? I said 10 minutes. Sometimes it kicks it off. See, it's off. Right here, you could see it in the dedicated GPU RAM. It's unloaded, so it's gonna take a little bit to reply because it's got to load back in there. As you can see right there, it's loading up. This is the dumb part. This is what stops everything. no creativity. But you know what? It's also, the learning experience on, what was missing. See, what does it say here? There's no installed, right? So what does this say? No, that's telling me to start it again. This one wants me to do PowerShell. What's this say? Get contents from, select string, pattern. He's trying to build it. This one is remove, clear cache, only if this flag. I'm going to have to do that one. Right? This one right here. But it's asking me, don't paste that. You want to do it from like right here. The open. This is just telling you what it's doing. And then this is that's the command. See if I can just see. So that one does the string choice debug info warning and error. It's so cool, man. You know what? I love Terminal, and I stopped using it forever, and now it's coming back. It's like the 80s again, man. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna let that do its thing. What else can we look at? So these are my screenshots of trying to do stuff and look at. Let's see, let's have one of those little view. It's not. That's the one I wanted. So at least I'm showing the right stuff. Okay, so what's going on here? Below is the fix. Why is it doing this? Can I put that in there? This right here? Because I've never seen that before. I've only seen it from here to here. So I'm going to do that first. And make sure I'm in the right folder. Hit save. See if it does it. All right, so my thing here is like, what is this? Can you do that? Probably could. Does this even have, I don't want hello. See, it has a memory, and I want to know where that is. And there it is, my Olama. I'm so tired, man. This is so draining. You could be working on this for hours, and it just gives you this error price. And I'm kind of upset how this here is not working. This file. It just closed. What happened here? Let me do. All right, so since my local fixes it, and probably my paid version did too, let's see if I can have him fix my snake game. Can you fix my snake game? It closed before starting. And it'll look through it and it'll be like, oh yeah, do this. Yeah, if you get an opportunity to run a local, it's fun. Get a lot of stuff to do, and clear that out. I wanted to show. You can see up here in the corner, I'm kind of moving it around. There's a stability matrix. I wanted to show you that. I had it set up, and I had image process and everything like that, but it was giving me like naked pictures and after working on trying to figure out why for an hour, I had a lot of inappropriate content. Like I'm saying, hey, I need this on the beach and this and that. And I went to the internet, all right, I asked ChatGPT, I said, why is these pictures coming in naked? And it said, oh, you got to check the tuning. I said, no, it's naked. Why is it naked? And then it says, oh, well, this is was trained on that. I was like, bro. So I have to force in the negative to not put naked full front. I mean, it's like I admit I tested it, for research purposes only. And man, if you saw the any person, any actress, any person, you could put it's like uncensored. And I'm like, wow, this I just downloaded it. So I don't want to put it because we're doing live stream, and I'm not fast enough to try to, cover that stuff. But I don't, you can't even, I'm afraid to even share it to people. They'll be like, oh my God. But it is very, it's good. I'm a guy. What do you expect from me? I wasn't expecting that. I put regular, I wanted high. Dude, it is real. High definition. I put 4K cinematic lighting, because if you've seen my channel, I do a lot of, photography and video. And I use the words, dude, the everything, the areola, the hair, the fuzz. I had it where it was glistening off of the sun. I was like, dude, I'm impressed, and I can't share it with nobody. But that's my story. I'm sticking with it. So, did it make the code? It's got a habit of doing this. I'm gonna try it. This is new because if we go here and look at the original, see, it doesn't show it. But I'm gonna put it in this time, and I pray that it works. I'm gonna hit save, minimize. Bro, why is this broken? This was working yesterday. I was actually playing it. I got 16. That was my highest score. Fixed. Not fixed. What did you do? HW. H is for what? Oh, that's something else. A fail. No exploit line. That's the directional. I'm going to do it without that stuff. Whoa. Do it to right there. Wish me luck. Please work. Because it was cool. That's not it, though. And I think I asked because it didn't close. This one must be it, man. Because it was really good. Hold on. Let me give this thing. At least it fixed it. Okay. This one. Please fix. 2. It was working. Not sure why it stopped. Come on, my own little AI. So this file thing is what's messing it up. So I'm going to remove that. Yeah, that's it. Because I told it, you need color, you got to have this, you got to have that. I said, what am I looking at? Dude, it was literally, it looked like an apple, but when you glance, of course, it looks like a heart. And it was like the whole page. You could not miss this apple. If you were the worst person ever, all you have to do is just go in a circle. It will hit this thing. And then I made it smaller, but it was still big. And I'm like, why does it look so like you're trying to make each block a pixel of an apple? So I said, make it into a true pixel. And man, it did. And then I was like, hey, can you make, what I say, a, a background. And then I said, oh, think of Zelda. So I said, think of Zelda, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, yeah, I could do it. I hope this does it because, man, it was such a treat. I had fun playing it. I wanted to see if I could do more. And I hit the wrong one. I'm doing a Flappy Bird. What'd I do? Tell me I didn't overwrite the wrong. No. So this one's that one, but I thought I opened up this one. What did I do here? Is this still Flappy? No. No, this is, okay. So let me go here. Boom. And then put 2. Because I'm trying to keep each one. Because this is the first one I did. This is the second one I did, as you can tell. Right? No color. You could. Oh. What happened? It didn't fucking work. Dude. Oh my goodness. Why is this opening up this one? Ah, because I did a Flappy Bird. Delete that. That was not what I did. I gotta go look for this stupid. I want to show you now. So, snake game. Because I just started messing with it recently. What's today? Was it that long ago? I think this is where we are now. Yeah, this is all other stuff. Let me see here. Oh, this, yeah, see. Okay, so here I wanted to do Star Fox. And I'm like, do this, do that. I never got it to work. It was just a black screen. But let's go back to the snake, cause man, it was working. What did I do here? I gotta read my comics. Create an entire, no, that's Firefox. Yeah, this is still Firefox. I was like going into scripting and storyline and levels, even if it was a dot shooting. I can always change a dot to a mesh. I don't know if you're into gaming and making games. I used to make games when I was growing up. What is this? Oh, this is a story. Is this whole thing Firefox or Star Fox? Sure is. All right, so we're gonna go to, I guess this one. What am I looking at here? Chapter. Oh, this was me on my video, because, dude, these videos are long. It's a live stream, and nobody got time to watch and predict what's happening. So I just put my stuff in here. I asked for, make me, the retro cover, and I'm like, no, man, it was the wrong card. This was the original thumbnail. And then it's like, oh, you mean this? And you could tell on the Z600 it's pixelated to some weird. Anyway, I talked about this stuff. I'm actually trying to find out where my maybe it was here. Maybe I did one and said, you know what, let me do an easy one. And dude, I'm all over the place with my brain. I got like 20 things. This one was me trying to figure out getting a test so I can test the small models. And I don't know. I'm having fun. But as you can see here, this is all made from local. As you can see here, you got the message, the dot, right? This is what's live that you can see right now. This is not live because I'm trying to, right here I got a travel tips. And I remember in the home, this is real web development. If you're interested, just type I want to, I want to know how to do web, and we'll have a conversation. I don't, if you're looking to learn, like for example, this is where I'm at right here. You click on and it opens up Google and it just gives you the directions all the way down till you get to this origin. And this is downtown. Isn't that cool? And you can type. Oh, I I think I did in the other one. I did New York, and then it says, yeah, here's how you get here. you know, and you just zoom on in, and yeah, you can land in Ponce Airport, and uh, this is the airport, and you could take the freeways right there. Take the 10 north, go east until you get to the town, and this is one of this small little spot. You know, fun stuff. Close that. I'm gonna see if I talk with the town and see if they like it. I think I'm gonna come over here because this was the see. I changed it because I had to come down here to change the uh, all of the features. And as you can see here, this was what the forum looks like. Now, if you look at this forum at the top, this is the cool part. I just said, hey, can you make it look like a forum? Doesn't have to work, but put some real looking, because when you're going to pitch a web job, you got to have something. They got to look at something. They got to see, okay, I see this. How long does it take? And not like put you in complexity. You got to look at how fast does it normally get you as a developer to say what's your turnaround. Everyone has their niche. For me, it was always doing web and video and graphics. I'm a professional DJ, and I'm in my 50s, man. So I'm over here just learning new technology. All of the pictures were came with when I asked make this. It pulled it. So the top here I want to kind of fix because as you can see in this one, when you toggle, it's okay. I'd rather have a picture and then also maybe a bigger picture behind of the town. And this one, you see little mistakes here. Right now you see the corrections. I try to make it look animated so when you're going over. And all of the buttons work. Um, the flow of the data isn't really set yet because this is the front page, and the front page has got to give you the why are you here. So when you can identify that and you can put it together in a format as if you're going to give it to somebody and they're going to go to work on it, you know, that's basically it. How much faith do you have in just giving AI full creative, because it's full creative control. You can't get this quality unless you are real specific. Like the left on the menu bar, I'm still not, happy with that. I like the images, the font. I like the notification on the pages. So once I click that, it's gone. That's basically updates. I wanted everyone to have a hub, where they can, check their messages. And the messages takes you to the forum. You can't see it here. I'm going to come back on this side. But when you scroll, it's not supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be floating. When you go to the message, it goes to the forum because that's where the messages are. And I'm not trying to make a new thing. I'm just trying to create something that a local town can have and gives them opportunity. And the thing I put here also has local directory where you could find, food and beverages, wellness, it's like a travel. What's what? Where do you get what here? You can download a media kit and seeing what's going on here. That's the city giving an opportunity for growth. For an example, let's say they're creating a project. That's what that's for. You gotta have a culture. And the way my impression thought is, I would make this and I would give it away. I would communicate with everyone in the town and say, hey, you can have your own area. And the point is to help businesses collaborate, communicate. Um, Business owners will have their own forum, which is private, where they can communicate and where they can plan and do stuff. The event center is basically culture, civic, outdoors, business, family, nightlife. The waiting list is basically stuff that is coming, and you want to kind of be the first one to know. And a little survey. How do you plan to use the hub? And this information, none of this stuff is live. This is 100% static. That's running off of a React backend. The front is Next.js and Tailwind, which is CSS styling. I'm pulling styles with what do you call it? Let's do Next.js, React, UI library. That's the secret sauce that nobody talks to you about. They're like, how do you do this? Well, you come here and you can see all of the elements and everything here. As you can see, this code makes what's on the left, which is the sneaker, all that stuff. Shows you everything, look at this. And this you can't play it, but imagine this site having a player, news, music, um, a movie section that we can put stuff. It's English, Spanish, and what you do is you go into I don't know if this one has in the themes, but this is basically all of the different That's not it. This is such a bad example. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see if one of these are on here that I can recognize. Dude, these are all new ones that I never even heard of. But this is the one I'm on. So when you're talking about making a website, just get the understanding of the back end to build the front. And look at all this stuff. This is like some serious hey 420. You know what time it is. All right, so this one's a pretty cool dashboard. I'm thinking of adding one of these for every user so that when they're logged in, it's I think it's going to be better than Facebook. It's kind of like a MySpace, you know? It's real locals. It's, we're going to try to keep it, for Puerto Rico. And we got a lot of Puerto Ricans flying in who want to move to, from New York or, Vegas. And, you know, these are pretty cool, different features. None of these buttons work. I guess this is just showing what it can do. That's pretty cool. Yep. None of these other buttons work on the left. Not even the profile. What is this? Nothing? Sync? Full screen? Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I think it's just my computer. It should load up now. Anyway, possibilities are endless when you are, taking your time and trying to see some styles that work. Man, I'm really trying to show you one that you can see. I think this one has samples you can see. Because a lot of them, they're like, hey, join us, pay us. And you don't need all that stuff, and it's high quality. Look at this pricing. My gosh. So these are like the categories of certain different, features. This is dialogue. You can get the code and, yeah, how to insert it. Look at that. That was I was impressed when I opened it. I was so impressed. I was like, whoa. What which AI did this one? If I remember correctly, I think it was the Phi 4 from IBM. Where is it? This little guy right here, the 14B. It did this one. I think all of them could do it. It's how you tell it, because man, it was like, what do you want me to do? Like here, this could be fixed. It's too too close. This needs the address set up on it. You know, I'm here in the south by Ponce, and what I would add is the exact same thing you get in the home right here, where you get from Mayaguez, you got San Juan, Ponce, And look at how clean that is. You know, it's super sharp. This is I'm running on a 4K, TV. And if I'm looking at the settings here, I'm streaming at 1080p right now, but it's also streaming at 1440. That's good. Yep, get rid of that. That's, look at that. You got the weather. I want to have the weather on there. This is definitely for the house, but you know what I'm talking about. So that's it. All this stuff. Can't use this for, what happened? It just went away. Am I allowed to use it now? Don't get me there. So, okay. What, since I don't know exactly how to make that file so that it runs well on OpenCode. So you would put the model. Okay, let's go to agent. So agent, you got these two. You got plan and build, right? Planning, of course, you're planning it out. It cannot do anything. Once you understand and underneath it, it's always ready. It's like, here's the handoff. This is what you can start doing right now. Once you get that handed off, you go into the build, and then it starts making stuff. You change, if you look at this window at the bottom right, hit tab, you see build agent, plan agent, and let me see if I can get, can you make me a hello world HTML? And it's going to take a while because it's got to load. There's the loading. Once that loads, it'll tell me, of course we can't do that. I don't have it configured correctly. It always tells me this repeating script. I'm not allowed to, it's very limiting in its conversation. So those other scripts that I started working on was writing. For example, that build.txt, it's looking for it. So I'm wondering if some of it got written, because it told me that if I put the script, it will make it. So I don't know if I'm making it with the local ChatGPT or it was making Grok 1 do it. And then it was erroring out because it wasn't in the CLI, which is what you're looking at right now. It was in terminal. And when you're in terminal, man, you can do some serious, problems. And so what my process was is, like anybody, how can I get a complete thing? Once you identify what that is, you can do it. This is this computer is slow. It's 17 years old. It is old. These are the specs. It's running at 3 gigahertz right now, base 2.79. Well, let's say I need a bit more context. Yeah, it always would tell me, oh, great, I'm excited. Give me more stuff. And I'm like, after you give it everything. Like, if I go to change it to Grok right now, he'll do it. It's already done. And it does it so fast, right? And this one doesn't do it because it doesn't have those files to tell the tool part how to pull the function that's in this application called, OpenCode. So if I change it to build, it won't do it. Let's see. It might even. So what I was told is that if it doesn't have the function, it reverts back to default, like texting, which it'll do. So I say, make me HTML with the hello world, right? One page only. I can even put the whole script, and it won't do it. Would you like me to modify or create? So create a HTML with hello world on it. All right, building agent is ready to receive deployment task. Please let me, it's just, it doesn't do it. And someone told me that he was trying to configure it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's local. And then he's like, no, you can't. And then another gentleman was saying, oh, you just need to use Grok or Claude. And I'm like, oh, so you got to use an API. So the API has a built-in management. So when you're asking for it, they want to look good. So they got all that stuff prepped on their server side. So when you ask Grok coding, I need you to do this, they're going to say, okay, and it's done. Why? They got hundreds of people making pages and pages and pages of how to do anything from the smallest program to the biggest, most complex programs. And they don't have everything. They just give it enough direction that you should be able to fill in the gaps. But it's getting really good where it makes its own, stuff. So that's pretty much this video. I don't know what else to show. This is kind of like what I did this week. We made a really cool portal for a community. It's on my personal GitHub. If you go to it, it is the Learn As You Grow 501 GitHub, and you click on Juan Diaz, and this is the structure. You got the tailwind, you got the Vercel, the envelope for the examples, all the packages. You go into the source. You got your application, your components. The components is the fun part. You got it's the nav, the map. Whatever you label it is what you're gonna put in your file, in the card. You got providers, theme, language context. That's the English Spanish. When you go to app, guess what it looks like? It's just a regular tree. You got the about, you got all the different, this is the menu stuff, right? And then when you look at it, you got your layout. This is a picture. And right here, you got page. So when you click on that, that's what each page looks like inside. No HTML, but it's HTML. If you really look at it, it's a JSON style where you got your title, information, the script, the three pictures that were underneath the main. There's no header here on the top because we had a menu, but that's off to the left. But everything here, right? All the values is static. You don't got the footer because the footer is in here, right here. So this is your footer on this page. on all the pages. And I said make it nice, and look, you got the 3 Facebook. I'm like, hey, that's not right. But when you look at the updated one, now you can see Facebook, you got Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, X. See how much this is the progress. That's a fake number. I mean, it's it's a work in progress. It's it's just something I'm messing with. And if you want to play with it, you can pull it, and you can go right off where I'm at. It'll be this one, not this one, because I haven't merged it yet. But that's pretty much it. Got my YouTube. Come check me out. And these are the kind of stuff that I've been watching lately. Nothing really important other than some chill music and my channel. We can watch some cool stuff. This one was the last no, that's not it. It was in my stream, my live. So this section is the live. These are all my live streams. This is all the gameplay from Apex. I don't play any other game. Why? Because I just don't. I don't have time for anything else to learn. I'm okay at this game, and my computer is like I said, 17 years old. I started putting it together. I wanted to get with AI and learn, so I was doing it with my original video card, and it worked pretty good. So I have fun making these videos, and I hope you enjoy them. In the videos here, if I think this is, yeah, these are all my public videos. If you had an opportunity, you can come check them out. Some how-tos, some conspiracies, and cats, because I love cats. This was the LCARS Max project, because I love Star Trek. And what I did was try to make my ChatGPT act like the computer of the Star Trek. So every time when it replies is like, yes, sir, Captain, it's like blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it's some fun stuff. I got some drives in there. I've got some travel videos like Saint Germain. We can look at that in the beginning real quick so you can get an idea what it is. And this one is playing in my TV. Should be playing.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
So if you want to go check that out, you can. And they're really good edited videos. I took my time putting them together. If you like the funny ones with all of the Apex ones, you can check these out, because they're no joke. They're some serious. You got to be good at this game. And for if you've never played it, it'll kick your butt.
Then what can I say? How can I disprove lies that are stamped with an official seal?
That will be all, Mr. Mulder.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer. Because too many others know what's happening out there. And no one, no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
What I do is I pay attention to their narratives. That's because the narratives that they tell are what moves populations. The world works off narratives. And what exactly is a narrative? A narrative is a spoken or written account of connected events. It's a story. And that's what they're feeding us with. Stories.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came in some of these recoveries.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Do you have any information that the U.S. government is involved in a disinformation campaign to deny the existence of certain UAPs?
I can't go beyond what I've already stated publicly in my News Nation interview because it touches other sensitivities.
Congress also wants to know more about potential UFOs. Inside a hearing, a retired Air Force intelligence officer testified the government is covering up a program on UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena. The committee also heard from former pilots who had witnessed unidentified flying objects that could not be flown by humans, but some still express skepticism.
The concept that an alien species is technologically advanced enough to travel billions of light years gets here and somehow is incompetent enough to not survive Earth or crashes is something that I find a little bit far-fetched.
The National Security Council spokesperson denies claims the government is hiding anything, but says the Pentagon is studying unidentified objects.
The Solar Warden. Have you heard of it?
You should quit asking me if I've heard of it, because I have.
I'm always going to ask you. Supposedly, we have like a army in space. You'll see it like pictures and videos from the International Space Station of like weird looking craft that go by it. And
they got books of this stuff. When you start going down this rabbit hole, forget it.
The rumor is that the government, powers that be, whatever, are trying to slowly introduce like, hey, we actually have a army that's in space, and we have bases on Mars. We have a base on the dark side of the moon.
What is this conspiracy from?
So this was commissioned in the 70s. It was Ronald Reagan. He has a book out. It's basically his journal entries or whatever.
Dear Diary.
One thing Ronald Reagan wrote in his journal thing was he talked to someone, military leaders, NASA, and he wrote something along the lines of like, I didn't realize how far advanced we were. The fact that a spacecraft can carry 300 people is bewildering. Yeah. And you're like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Supposedly, there's like 8 to 10 of these space warden ships that can.
There's a theory that Donald Trump's son is a time traveler.
There's proof?
There's a book that came out. It's called The Last President. In the book, the main character, his name is Barron. He has a mentor, and he teaches him about time travel. His mentor is named Don. Donald Trump's son is named Barron Trump. He has a mentor named Don, just like Donald Trump's great-grandfather. He was part of the FBI team that confiscated and took all of Nikola Tesla's inventions, blueprints, and wiped his whole house. Obviously, there was rumors all the time about he was onto some next technology with frequency and maybe even time travel. This book was written in 1869.
So
it's
they
called The
found-
Last President.
They found this book.
No, this book has been published a long time ago.
Oh.
It's just weird that it matches up, and it's called The Last President. You could say the new president, he's kind of, people are saying like he's a robot or whatever. He doesn't seem like he's all there.
Trump's been like too calm since he got voted out the office. It's like he knows like he's gonna be back.
No, yeah.
Well, scientists say the inner core of our planet, meanwhile, could be shifting into reverse, so to speak. The core is a massive rotating ball of iron and nickel.
But researchers in China say its rotation has almost stopped in recent years and may actually switch direction. They believe that's something that happens once every several decades. But some independent scientists say whatever's happening, no calamity is in the making.
I'm not trying to say women can't have opinions, but my point is there's a whole bunch of men out here who genuinely know that this COVID shit's out of control, but they're too busy arguing with their wife to do anything about it.
Right.
They're preoccupied. If it's not your wife, it's a video game. It's not your video game. It's a job. It's not a job. It's politics or whatever. Some other distraction. It's all garbage. When Rome was losing, all they did was have endless circuses to keep you distracted from the losing war. The world we live in today, they try very hard to prevent you from creating your reality. You're constantly distracted by everything, and it's hard to focus on nearly anything. And they do that on purpose. For you to go stand out in the rain and protest, that takes focus. They want you distracted. They want arguments in the household. They want blacks to hate the whites, Republicans to hate Democrats. They want us to argue with each other, for all of us to hate our neighbor, and all to be so distracted and selfish and self-absorbed that we can't think beyond ourselves. That's what they're trying to do to us, and it's absolutely and utterly worked.
It works.
There's very few of these people, and look what they've fucking done to the entire world. It's absolutely insane. And before I get offed, I'd never commit suicide.
Now listen, this right here, I didn't know that my mic was muted, so I apologize for that silence. Anyway, I gave you the opportunity to read that. But what I was trying to say is it's scripted, everything, you know? Nothing is new, right? We did it all. You look at all of the ancients and, people are mind boggled, like, how do we ever do the pyramids and how heavy everything is? And we're like ants. They have it, everything. All of the technology we're getting, it's old. So me messing with AI and trying to put stuff together, it's like, it's there. Whatever you get is pre-designed for you because they know once we have it, we'll be right next to them in that level of technology where they're like, what are we going to do? The future is Star Trek. And the way I look at it, if I could create a simple structural, AI that is rooted in growth, passion, respect, authority, hierarchy, chain of command, and you look at how Star Trek is, and, a lot of people love the show. I do. And he has to literally tell people, I'm not going to off myself, because they're going to be like, oh, he probably was depressed and with the news and all the media and and he did it. No, it's wake up.
Greetings, Soul Family. I would like to put out part 2 regarding a video that I put out 2 days ago when I was explaining the interdimensional mechanics of our ascension. So it appears that our solar system with our Earth is positioned within the 4th concentric circle of our Milky Way from the inner circle out. So we're part of the outer periphery in the 4th concentric circle. The 1st concentric circle is that big bulge of light at the center of the galaxies. That is known as the 1st concentric circle. And all the worlds and civilizations that exist within that 1st concentric circle are all considered a Type 3 galactic civilization. They have the ability to harness stargates, use suns as stargates, and of course the galactic core, which acts as an interdimensional doorway to travel to other galaxies. Now, the civilizations that exist in the 2nd concentric circle and in the 3rd concentric circle, as we go outer from the center out, those are known as stellar civilization. The whole point of this video is to let you know that because we are culminating 4 different cycles that are coming to an end in our times now, any day now, the Earth is not going to only be ascending, but the Earth is going to be coexisting on 3 different levels of reality. So the Earth is going to return back to Tara, a 5th dimensional reality. It's going to also coexist and return back to Gaia, an 8th dimensional reality. And it's also going to coexist and return back to Aramathena, a 12th dimensional reality. Why? Because the morphogenetic fields that used to maintain and generate those realities are still there, but on the energetic level of reality. It is still there in the quantum. So what's happening is, because of the times that we're living in, these different cycles that are all coming into culmination at the same time, not only are we going to witness the ascension of our world, but we're also going to witness the ascension of our galaxy. And in turn, we're also going to witness the ascension of our entire universe. So where is the 5th dimensional Earth going to exist? So right now we're stationed at the outer skirts of our galaxy in the 4th concentric circle. So the 5th dimensional Earth is going to jump into the 2nd concentric circle, along with the cluster of stars known as the Pleiades. We're going to be right next to Sirius, who's going to be acting as our 2nd sun, Sirius B, the big blue star. And then the 8th dimensional Earth is going to be positioned in the center of our galaxy, right in the center of that big bulge of light. Okay? And the 12th dimensional Earth is going to be positioned at the center of our local universe, known as Nebadon, in which our galaxy revolves around. So that is what's going to be happening when the Earth ascends. We are going to be entering harmonic universe number 2 for the most part, and then some of us are going to coexist in harmonic universe number 3 at the center of the galaxy in the 8th dimension, and then some of us are, a small, even fewer number of us are going to be able to ascend all the way to the 12th dimensional Aramathena Earth and be part of the new council of gods that exist at the center of our local universe of Nebadon.
You know, the FBI agent on the commanding, agent running the scene reached out to Epstein's lawyers and let Epstein lawyers come and decide what was privileged and what was able to be taken.
Are you serious?
Yep. How is it that we are sitting here now after he committed suicide in the prison where no one had ever been able to commit suicide before, after Ghislaine Maxwell has also gone off to prison, and we learned nothing from her trial, Sean? Nothing.
Take away the island. You have all these billionaires going to New York, staying in his townhome with them. When I travel somewhere, I don't stay at their house.
So I think we can all agree, We don't really know where his money came from, and it's massive wealth. They gave Epstein a plea deal that excused his underage trafficking, basically home confinement. It was a joke. It was like no sentence at all. The plea deal covered him and unnamed possible co-conspirators.
Don't know what really happened there. We know we're being lied to. We know the Navy and the Coast Guard have incredible sonar. That area in the Atlantic's heavily covered because of nuclear submarine stuff. And they know the signature of an imploding vessel. It's been studied heavily. And they also know the sound of it hitting the bottom. I mean, they can hear somebody thumping on the side of a submarine 3,000 miles away. So they knew exactly when it imploded. They knew they were dead. They knew about the wreckage. And the commander said, we reported it. It's not our job to talk to media. And they decided not to tell you. Were they in the submarine? They really died? I mean, we get lied to so much, who knows? And am I going to get sued for 2.75 trillion? I mean, all I know is I'm saying I've been lied to so much. I don't know, but I know this. My phone blew up, my text messages. I've never been asked in a short period of time, so many times since Monday, what do you think really happened with the submarine? And that shows people don't buy it. And almost everybody says, I don't think anybody was on it.
But the biggest problem is you're a Navy pilot.
Yeah.
And you see something that is not functioning according to your understanding.
Not kosher. Seems odd.
It's going so fast. It's stopping. It's just stopping like it's a cursor on a computer screen. Then it's going the opposite direction. It's jamming your radar. It doesn't seem to have windows, right? So you see that and your choices are, do I say I saw what is obviously a UFO? And if you do, you could really your career up.
Yeah.
So you couldn't talk about it. The other problem is that apparently people who get too close to these things, there's a physiological impact. So let's imagine you got close to one of these things and now you're sick. The VA won't pay for it.
Right.
Because there are no UFOs.
They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. And all American citizens, I think, have suspected something like this is going on. But we're all too busy trying to stay alive and live our lives. And after all, what can one person do about it?
All I want to tell you is this. If you look forward and understand that, things are designed, illusionary, then you got to step back and take a greater look at everything. And as you step back, you see more. And the more you step back, you start seeing a bigger picture. So everybody who is looking at things at the bigger picture need to understand that we're not alone. We're not alone. And with Charles Schwab and all these big wigs and people who we think are in charge of everything, just understand, if they wanted to, everything would be off. Millions would be gone. But the way they're doing it, I want you to understand. You can see it, so it's gonna make you slowly go, oh, let me, you know what? Since I didn't do that and this happened, let me start doing it. The United States ain't dumb. They know exactly where your mindset is and where everybody is. Every person who walks around and see a person do something dumb, you're just like, dude, they're not awake. So what I believe is what they're gonna do is they're gonna basically just slowly push on the brakes, right? So you have no way of, traveling. Some people can, I guess, because they purchased the tickets and they're just, finishing that off. I don't know. Banks, I heard there were issues. I'm in Puerto Rico, so I haven't experienced that. So when I start wondering, okay, what's the next thing, right? There's a website that starts talking to people about, power outages in the United States. And you could see, Texas had a huge amount of, power outages, central area power outages. So, up in New York, you started noticing some things happening. But think about it. They left the internet on for a reason. They need everybody to put their detective work and understand that when everyone's participating in this, I understand what's going on, and they can track you. They know if you're buying stuff you need to protect yourself, because you know what? It's all ordering. I think a lot of this stuff might be even AI controlled. I'm not saying it is. This is for entertainment purposes only, but, some of the things you're listening, people are, regurgitating out of their mouths is like, wait a minute, what did he say? It almost sounds scripted, and then people are talking about, the attempt on Trump, and all I can tell you is you got somebody who was on the, where he was, and took some shots, if that was even him, and then people are now talking about a water tower that had a better angle, because ballistics can find exactly where that bullet came from. So we have a lot of collective energy that is like a brain processing everything, and everybody's giving up what they believe. Some are really far out, and some of them are, more towards home. So what I'm saying to you is, we all have ways of doing things we need to do, and you have to get your books together. Things that you need. You got people who need to get radios. Think about it. If the internet goes out, right, and your mobile phone goes out, what do you got? So everyone needs to really think. You can have power in your house, but if you have no way of communicating or doing the normal stuff you got, you're basically looking at a bunch of paperweights, because everything's going to say no internet, no internet, no internet, can't log in, can't log in. Everything is on the internet. So what I recommend everybody to do is to look at their reality and start getting some hard copy. Go to Home Depot and get a printer, print out some stuff, and put it in a book, and then put it on the shelf. Get some, maybe a laser jet. I bought a laser jet under $300. Some people can't afford that. Get a used one, and it will. You can get 2 cartridges for like $13, and you can print a lot. You can print a lot. And, you got to get, there's this other device I noticed online that we're talking about, the internet in a box, basically. It had all the wiki, it had a bunch of TED Talks, a lot of, survival, how-tos, things that you use the internet for. No gossip, no point, right? And I think it was about 300 gigs. And I also believe that people can go and download their personal version of AI, the 3.5. I think that's good enough. It's good enough. You get a couple of NVIDIA cards and you run that through with the database that you currently use, and tell it to use that as a reference, and it takes time to scan, because that's the deep learning part. But it does have a lot, and you can say, hey, use that as a reference, take your time, I'm not in a rush, and let me know. So what I believe people are going through, people are saying that they are shifting or, time jumping. You can believe what you want. If you believe in that, guess what? That's exactly what's happening. If you don't believe in that, then it's not. Everything is just perception. So when you can see that your perception is getting jaded, you know, get your stuff backed up. You know, get your beliefs up. You know, you got, you know, different versions of operating system. You got the Mac, you got PC, you got Android, you got Linux. Because what's up with Windows? That could have been planned. Because they said, oh, it wasn't a hack. Well, that means it was done on purpose. You see how they kind of put themselves in there? There's a lot of things going on. I wanted to put this video out. This is normally a late night lunacy, but you know what? It's still morning over here, so this could be my morning Java. I just had a couple of coffees, and you know, I have a bunch of books that I'm reading, and I will have on. I put this on TikTok. I didn't say nothing, and I just did this. I opened up, you know, a couple of these pages, you know, and basically what happened within 20 minutes, whatever AI scanned that video, it's now unable to. You can't view it. I can't even view it. It says, you know, guidelines. What guidelines? I don't know what they put in this little, you know, AI to vet us, but it's definitely, you know, behind our Fifth Amendment, you know, where maybe it doesn't want to get itself in trouble, but we have the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, and then, you know, we have all these other ways of thinking, and the problem is you can't get these things. They won't let you have them. So the question is, what are you gonna do? You gotta have these things together to educate yourself. You know, you go and you get your book, and you write your notes. And on my channel, there's a lady, her name is Polly, and she talks about, you know, how to improve your life by just your handwriting. It's subconscious. We've been brainwashed. Everybody who don't think we're brainwashed, wake up. We've all been brainwashed. And when they talked about, hey, you can't put brainwashing, you know, subliminal on the TV, radio, whatever. Well, guess what? It never went to court. It never went to court, right? So if it never went to court, that means they're still doing it. And you can't do nothing about it unless you push back. So you all have an opportunity. That's why, you know, the Chevron Act is gone, because now with the Chevron Act gone, guess what? They can't assume anything anymore. They can't just say, oh, you know, because of the Chevron. There's 18,000 association on all the cases that prevent us from getting better in our lives. So what I recommend for you is to get your books, things that are important to you, put it in boxes, and see if you can download a copy of the internet. You know, it's like 300 something gigs. And this first phase of the flights and the banking, that's phase one. And then they're going to do another one a little bit harder, and the next one's going to be a little bit harder. So, you know, people are being weeded out. So you're going to have to just think, take your time, you know, and do you want to be where you are? Look at your job. Why do you go to work? Do you love what you do, or are you just doing it just to make money? And then what, you know, all your plans. Imagine if all services was done. That's it. The only entertainment you're going to have is whoever lives next to you and what they do. Because you won't be able to get that on the internet. Anyone got a copy of something, that's it. And then you're all going to finally get together. Why? Because now you have to share. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'll give this away for free. And then guess what? Everybody does it for free. Why are you helping this person? Because they need it. Okay. That's it. That's all I've been trying to tell people. Nobody talks to anybody anymore. No one calls anybody anymore. You know, one says, hey, I was thinking about you, you know, I hope you're good. Nobody. Everybody's too busy working, they're on their phones, they're doing whatever they need to do just to survive, you know? This is a reprint. This book was printed in the 1800s, right? In the 1800s. But the problem is, with this being in the 1800s, it's almost like a playbook. And then when you find out who Donald Trump's uncle is, and then you know that that uncle got all the paperwork from the Tesla writings, you know, everything starts coming together. Time travel, time jumping, parallel universes, you know, CERN. CERN was not even a thing. And then every time they kept turning that on, they kept going back in time saying, oh, we've been doing this for a long time. And more back in time, and they said, oh, we created the internet. No, they didn't. They didn't create the internet. You know how the internet was created? The internet was created in the military, US military, to communicate, and it was email. And when email was getting bigger, then the internet was wrapped on that. We already had a network. I love how people come around and start taking credit. Why? Because the internet is digital. I remember people were screaming on live about a year ago, oh, they're deleting the internet. I was like, what are you talking about? But there's a lot of things you can't see anymore. Everything is tags and this and that and the other. And why do you have all that? It's not about the information. It's about how can they sell you something. Everything is about selling, selling, selling. So when you wake up in the morning, you go, I gotta buy this. No, you don't. You don't gotta do none of that stuff. You just need to get your basics. And the problem is, nobody knows what that is. What is the basics? You know? No one gets the basics. And if you can get the basics and understand these things, man. Figure it out, guys. I'm here in Puerto Rico helping my mother build the house she grew up in. So we didn't have internet for a long time, almost 3 months. And when I was like, damn, this is like, I didn't know how addictive that was, right? And then now I have internet, I don't barely use it. And I hear people freaking out. And I'm thinking, oh man, that's exactly what happened to me. That's what happened to me. So, these are the type of videos I normally do, but the problem is nobody's ready for the stuff I say. People don't pay attention to the whole context of what I'm saying, and then they don't know that I'm making a story, and then, you know, hyper acting by over dramatizing things, but with information, you know. So I had a bunch of videos that was dealing with reality. And, you know, my words protected me. And I just wanted people to understand that you have someone who, basically, these books, if I read every one of these, which I'm not, because you can get that on the internet, you know, I have a community section where, you know, I have a bunch of posts. I have so many people on my channel that it's silent. So I don't think they're real. And that's okay. I know a lot of people who've been recently jumping on my channel are real, I hope. But, you know, what is going on? I've seen people with less people and people communicate. Regardless. Mine, I have so much and it's like, it's quiet. Is it the content I'm doing? Is it that it's not, you know, popping up? Is anyone getting my feed? Because even in my social media, I post some stuff and I have nothing. Not even my family. I go to my family, like, hey man, you see that post? And I'm like, oh, they don't have time. They're zombies. They're zombies. No one pays attention. I wrote so much stuff, it probably fits in a book. And some of it's fun, some of it's just imagination, and some of it is real. So when you're reading it, don't take anything personal. It's just, you know, ranting. You know? I love Las Vegas, but I see a lot of things that could be fixed. And you know what? The universe is gonna it's gonna snap. It's gonna snap, and everybody's gonna wake up, and they're gonna be like, oh man, okay. Oh, okay, this is what we have to do. And that's it. There's nothing more than that. I got my sofa with a bunch of junk on. I got my bed, a bunch of boxes, and I'm in this little corner. You know, I go out, I exercise, I do my yoga, I taking care of my mom who's 80, and a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. You know, she used to have a lot of pain and not able to walk or get into the car and all this stuff, and I eat different, so I started cooking for her and, you know, exercising her legs because she had an incident where she was on the floor. And she basically had a night terror. And when I realized that she, you know, shook herself off the floor, she basically woke up like, oh, I'm on the floor, not realizing. And she didn't have any pain, and she couldn't get herself up. And she did get herself up eventually, but she told me it took her about, 10, 15 minutes. She says 30, but I don't think so. You know, we over-exaggerate a lot. She's strong. But, anyway, long story short, she got herself up. I told her, never do that again. You call me, I can hear you. I'm a light sleeper. And if she wakes me up and I help her, the way I would help her is like, are you in pain? If she says no, then I would say, okay, try to get yourself up. And I would slowly help, because now I got her doing exercises. She's got 2 empty water gallons, half filled, and she just exercised, moving her arms around. That's it. I see a situation and I try to fix it to all my, family, just to let you know she's fine. And that's why I do these videos, for my family. But I don't think they see them because, I got 1,200, 1,300 subs, and I don't hear anything from anybody. So let's see if, this video can reach to people and say, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. And in my community section, that's the rabbit hole. If you look at stuff and you read my post, some of them are full. You can put up to 5,000 characters, and I filled it, And, hey, I could be right or I could not be right. Some of the things I put on there are funny. Some of the things are just my thoughts. And when I'm gone, it's just my little record that anybody could look at. And I hope, I leave a little imprint for whoever likes what I'm doing. Other than that, I don't want to make a long video. It's about 20 minutes. Wow. All right, guys. If you like this content, I'm going to see if I can put some music behind it, because I have a TV
A lot of people can give up. It's easy to give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. I don't feel like going to work. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Reloading. Recharging shield.
Rings close and we've got 45.
Tango down.
Firing on our foes.
One sec. Healing up. Got a bandit. Need shields.
We got company, people.
10-4.
I concur.
Enemy spotted.
Box 3, dumping the pods.
Giving our shields a recharge. 30-30 rep here.
Taking fire. Cracked shields on that bandit.
Movement in progress.
Hold up. Healing.
Rings me enemy shield. Double timing it. Pop in the chin.
1 sec. Healing up.
Give me a sec. Recharge.
Firing.
Replenishing my
Level 4. Only the best for my friends. We have our Apex champions.
Imagination keeps the doctor awake. Just kidding. I'm made of metal.
I like this spot. Let's find something good. Boosters are now available.
Setting up shop.
Evo Harvester here. I hope we can be friends.
got bamboozled.
What?
We have a new kill leader.
Enemy spotted. Yeah, boy. You got bamboozled.
What are you aiming at? What are you aiming at?
Reloading.
Attention. Delivery.
Right here may be good for looting. Here I go. Let's check out that way, friends.
Round 2. Fight.
The ring's close. 10 seconds to fly on the zip line. Let's go over there. Zip line here. A new level means it's upgrade time for the killing machine. Coming, friends.
So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible! Or anyone else can fit. What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! Your time is starting over. Stop giving up.
Shield battery here.
Attention.
Heavy ammo here.
Inbound.
Optics here. There's a heat shield here. We should inspect that area.
Shield battery here.
In today's episode, I go hunting again. And this time, I begin with pouncing on a wraith.
Care package over there.
whoa.
Patience is waning. Is this entertaining? My patience is waning.